Hello Pokemon trainers, my name is Ruffled Rowlet and welcome to another video. Today we'll be bringing you another top 5 video. We'll be counting down the top 5 hardest Pokemon to catch in Sun and Moon. Now with the release of Sun and Moon, there have been a lot of new Pokemon such as Mimikyu and other such things like Donald Trump. We've seen that goddamn beautiful thing. There's been a lot of Pokemon generally speaking that have come that are new, but some of these are harder to catch than others. Today we'll be counting down top 5 of those. Now note one thing, we'll not be including legendary Pokemon such as Tapu Koko or any of the Tapus really, and none of those will be included, nor will the Super Beasts be included as they are a separate entity in this scenario. Either way, we'll get started with number 5 right now. Number 5. So at the 5th place we have ourselves Mimikyu. Now Mimikyu, why is it hard to catch? Well, one, the actual rarity for this thing is 5%. It can only be found in the thrifty Megamart at the abandoned site and has a 5% chance of being found. And also the capture rate for this thing is 45. Mimikyu is very hard just to actually get to, and finding it is one part, but then actually catching it is another part as well, so it's very hard to get it. Of course, you know, capture rates really depends on how the health on the Pokemon is and all that stuff. You know, a lot of things come into play when it's, you know, actually comes to catching a Pokemon, but the rarity is 5%, so it's gotta be very hard to find it. So let's go to number 4. Number 4. At the 4th place, we have ourselves Oranguru. Now, Oranguru is similar to Mimikyu. They both have the same capture rate of 45, and actually finding it is the same percentage, it is 5%. It can be found in the lush jungle, both in the south, west, and the north areas, and of course, it is just an initial find, so it's not an SOS Pokemon, you will just find it like that out in the wild. Of course, it is very hard to catch, again, like I said on the previous one of Mimikyu, the capture rate is 45, and the rarity is 5%, so actually finding it is going to be very hard, and once you actually do find it, it can be kind of hard catching it. So generally speaking, Oranguru, very hard to catch. Let's get to the next one. Number 3. Now, coming in at the 3rd place, we have ourselves Jangmo-o. Now, Jangmo-o is kind of interesting in the same way that the previous two were. It actually has a capture rate as well at 45, and the rarity is 5%. Actually, finding it in the wild will give you about 5% chance of actually finding it. It'll be found in the Vast Point Canyon on the top and under the tree, and same thing goes for the moon version of the game. Now, 5% chance, like I said, 5% chance of actually finding it is very low. There are a few Pokemon that are lower, down at 1%, which is really, really hard to find, but generally speaking, finding one is hard, and then again, catching it is at the same time also equally as hard. You know, it's just generally speaking, all these Pokemons we mentioned so far are really just hard to find and then hard to catch as well, so they're pretty insanely, you know, like, nitpicky, let's just say it that way. Either way, let's get to the next one. Number 2. Now, coming in at the 2nd place, we have ourselves Dhelmise. Now, Dhelmise is super hard to actually catch. Now, it has a 25 capture rate, and actually finding it is the hard part. Now, to find it, you have to go to Seafolk Village, and you have to fish. Now, that's the only method you can get it. You have to fish for it, and when fishing, there are 2 different chances of getting it. There's a 1% rarity chance of you actually finding it while normal fishing, and 10% chance if you have Fish Special. Now, if Fish Special happens to occur, you have a 10% chance of actually finding it, and here's even the more, you know, add on top of it. Remember, it has a 25 capture rate, which means it's super hard to actually catch this thing once you actually encounter it. So the actual encounter rate being 1 to 10%, super low, insanely hard. Like, I've got to say, really, really hard, just ridiculously hard. And I've got to say, it's just insane though. It's one of the coolest designs I've seen in Sun and Moon so far, and honestly, just the Alola region, probably this is one of my favorite Pokemon from that region. I haven't caught it yet myself, but I'm going to be grinding for this thing soon. So either way, let's go to number 1. Number 1. Now, coming at the 1st place, we have ourselves Mareanie. Now, Mareanie can be found really confusingly. This is the hardest Pokemon that I've seen to actually catch in this game if we exclude, you know, all the other things. But this thing is pretty interesting. So here's how you catch it. Either you go to Melemele Sea, either the east or the west side, or you go fishing around Route 9. Now, here's the thing with this Pokemon in general. The way you actually catch it is only through SOS Battle. Now, what does that mean? Well, the only way you can actually find it is if you get a Pokemon to call in an SOS Battle, and this thing actually is that Pokemon. Now, how big is the chance? Well, in Route 9, there's a 5% chance of actually getting that. In the Melee C on the east side is 1% chance to 20%, and in the west side is 1% to 20%. So the actual percentage to find this thing is 1 to 20, and that's only through SOS battle, which also doesn't always happen. So basically speaking, it's very rare. It is the rarest thing I can think of right now that I could find in Sun and Moon to catch. Oh my god. This thing, I'm just trying to comprehend, like, what they thought when they made this. Like, god damn. But it's no wonder, though, it is super strong. Once it evolves, it is the strongest shit you'll ever see. Super useful. Toxapex is so powerful, and if you can get yourself Mareanie, like, just god damn it, you're gonna have a good time. Either way, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash the like button below. If you want to suggest any sort of videos to us, please leave it in the comments below. And either way, if you made it this far, we appreciate your support, and we will see you in the next video. I will catch you Pokemon trainers the next time. Bye bye.